Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Be There in 5 podcast. I'm Kate Kennedy, your host. This week, I have a guest joining me in a few minutes. Nora McInerny is back, coincidentally, because she joined us on the Dancing with the Stars episode as like a new fan a couple weeks ago. But she was already like slated to come on this week because I've decided to make it a tradition that we poorly recap the secret lives of Mormon wives ever since we did so in back in May and an ep called Secret Lives of Catholic Wives. That was, one of the fan favorites of the year and meaningful to me because I was in a really tough place at the time. And she, like, last minute dropped everything, like, drove to her studio at 10 p.m., deliriously recorded with me late at night. And yeah, I'm just forever grateful for her friendship. And I know so many of you love to hear from her. And it's good, honestly, that we're checking in because of the whole macro needling of it all from the Groupon episode. So I'll get to that in a bit. I actually think we do a better job today. We actually do talk about the show. We kind of mash up Secret Lives with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't know what came over me, but I watched all of Secret Lives and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in roughly like a 36-hour period of time. I ended up watching Housewives as a palate cleanser because at first I was so bored of Secret Lives. And then I came full circle and I really enjoyed both. And like shocked, but not also not because it is a rich terroir for so many topics that layer and layer upon one another that will start with a level of denial and preservation of image, but inevitably chip away as people get older and they have families and things get more complicated. And, people take routine lie detector tests at your nearest Marriott Bonvoy property with a 3-star restaurant in the lobby. Look, that was weird. Okay, can I just say I went back on my phone to where the episode was. They were at a place called the Adveneer. I don't know what that is. But I just guessed that that was a Bonvoy property. Sure enough, it's an autograph collection. It was giving Marriott. Also, the Mormons own Marriott, so like that was an easy guess. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, it's a franchise that like, while not shocked, it's doing well. I kind of am shocked by like Disney, Hulu, ABC's investment in these people, given the two Dancing with the Stars contestants, but also Taylor Frankie Paul as like their Hail Mary bachelorette to maybe modernize the franchise with what people respond to in modern times, which is an Emily Maynard. It's mess. And I will see if it works. I mean, I'm going to watch, but Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is a show that like is so confusing. I feel the same way every season. It can be so boring or reel me in so deeply. I like could write a dissertation about the layers upon layers represented by this show of like generational trauma, particularly religious trauma, of like the trauma responses these people are having that they don't even know to attribute to that, but they're attributing to somebody else. And you're like, oh my gosh, next season she's gonna figure out why this is happening. Gender roles, the perils of the patriarchy, the version where performative empowerment really believes it's doing something and it's kind of dark. I don't know. I go back and forth, but it's good and it's bad. And it's not so bad it's good. Like it actually has substance, but some of the contrived plot lines just drive me insane. And I don't think it's a series that needs 10 episodes, and I don't know that every episode needs to be an hour. I think they either need to find some new people willing to like open up and show more stuff or like I mean the first 4 episodes, 3 of their main characters were mostly gone. Like for episode 1, Taylor Frankie Paul like leaves and goes on a retreat. Whitney Levitt's not filming. Demi's not filming. Jen Affleck's like pretty much not filming, right? And then people kind of come back episode 5. I don't know. It was confusing. So then they kind of hedged their bets on Macy and Michaela anchoring the first half of the season, which just wasn't really working for me. Like I thought some of the stuff was funny, like their pee breaks and their snacks. And Michaela later in the season just, poof, bless her heart. I worry for her. Her openness is quite brave. And I think there's just a lot there. And like Macy, she seems to have the healthiest relationship of the bunch. And I love her passion for the LGBTQ community, and she's still an active Mormon and trying to like, whatever. But I don't know. I don't know. It's not that I don't like them as people. It's just that like, I don't know if they can carry an Emmy nominated reality show. Did you guys know that, like, we're here to talk about the fine arts. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives was nominated for Outstanding Unstructured Reality Program in 2025. Isn't that crazy? It was up against RuPaul's Drag Race, which has won quite a bit. I think Ryan Reynolds' Wrexham show, DCC making the team, Love on the Spectrum. That's maybe something else. Love on the Spectrum won, thank God. But yeah, kind of crazy this was nominated. Okay, maybe what I should do is start with a high level, like here's what you missed on Glee. Like with that, where I just kind of combined some show summaries to tell you what happened. But I also want to reiterate, like I watched the whole thing, but I also half watched it. And also when Nora and I recorded this, we had both, like, just finished it and they come out like, night before or whatever. So it's hard to, like, remember everything and not just, like, focus on bigger themes. So I'm sorry for, like, missing anything glaring. Also, the insistence of people to be like, "Well, we can't help you unless you tell us everything. We can't help you unless you tell us the truth." The reveal everything, bleed out for us on camera, give us all your juiciest details in the name of, like, us as friends, like, helping you or being able to move forward is, like, such a fucked up reality TV manipulation tactic. Or Layla just being like, "I can't hold on to this any longer." Like, "Fuck the Minky blankets. Let's go to the parking lot." Or, yeah, I mean, actually, Jessie exhibited some restraint when she found out about Dakota before Taylor did, which I appreciated because sometimes when they're like, "I have no choice. I have to tell her. I know she's in labor, but I'll never forgive myself." And it's like, okay, well, sometimes getting stuff off your chest is more about you than, like, what's best for the other person. So, like, let's take a beat, you know? Anyway, okay, here's what you missed on Glee. Also, feel like I'm going insane. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see which one I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say the name just because, I don't wanna disparage anybody's brand. I got Everyone's been talking about this brand on TikTok, and it's like a body care brand of a famous person's, like, influencer girlfriend who's very beautiful and sweet, and, like, it seems like a very legit brand, and the fragrances are nuts. But, like, people rave about this lotion. I've put it on my hands, like, 4 or 5 times, and I feel like they're getting drier and drier and drier. You know the type of dry your, like, thumb gets when a trackpad becomes simply intolerable? I don't know. Maybe this isn't supposed to go on your hands. Like, there's a film. I don't know what's going on. They are dry. They are desperate. They are dad talk. I don't. Anyways, did I get bamboozled? I'm so mad. Can you return lotion? Whatever. Okay. Actually, I have on the other side of me, Weleda Skin Food never fails. That's like one of, I think, the highest quality, like, drugstore Target brand type of lotions you can get, which is Weleda Skin Food. It's so good. I use it on my face and body all the same. It's actually nourishing. It's not filmy. Can run my thumb over a trackpad like it's nobody's business. So I'm back in business. Anyway, so Nora asked me to explain what happened with Demi and, like, Jesse and stuff, like, from last season, and I poorly did it in our conversation. So then I went back and revisited what happened that maybe I can break down here because I don't know. I just don't. I feel like it's not always clear what people did and why people are mad at them season over season. Like, well, the hatred for Whitney is just, she seems so disproportionate. And similarly, we couldn't remember why people were mad at Demi. We were expected to know who Marciano is. Anyways, so let's go back to last year. Secret Lives cast films and visits Vanderpump Villa, another show on Hulu. These shows are airing at the same time. Season 2 of Secret Lives and Vanderpump Villa, the one in Italy, airing in, like, May. And it's, like, so transparently to me, Hulu trying to get viewership over to Vanderpump Villa because it's just not doing as well as Secret Lives. And that's why, like, I just don't care. And that's why like, episodes 1 through 4, like, theoretically could be interesting if it felt real, but it feels contrived and stupid, and I start to lose interest when people act like their audiences are dumb. And the cynical read here is that Hulu orchestrated the situation for maximum drama. Like, they filmed this crossover. They knew that, like, they could tease it as a Demi scandal for a full season, then flip it to a Jesse scandal for the season finale. And then when more Secret Lives is off the air, Vanderpump Villa episodes are still, like, out and relevant. So then people want more by watching what went down behind the scenes on Vanderpump Villa. Then they'll come back later when Secret Lives comes back in the fall. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, also where my cynicism ends, and I'm like, but no. Like, the fact that grown adults would agree for a Hulu show and put themselves out, like, the text Jesse was reading, the text to me had to read, like, at the expense of your family, your kids seeing this footage, like, to orchestrate this stupid, like, emotional and or physical affair situation for the sake of Hulu crossover ratings is, like, so deep and dark in the reality TV machine that I simply cannot believe a sane human being would do that. But if I were to be not generous, that's what I would chalk this whole Marciano thing up to. Um, because basically last season, rumors were swirling that Demi hooked up with Vanderpump Villa cast member named Marciano, and people were talking about her cheating on Brett last season. Back in May, she and Marciano got into, like, a social media argument where she accused him of being a sexual predator. Anyways, I thought Demi kind of looks guilty. But the season 2 finale comes around, and it's like this bombshell where Layla, of all people, meets with Marciano to confront him about Demi, but he reveals nothing happened with Demi beyond some, like, flirting, and that he had a full-on affair with Jessie while she was separated from Jordan, or was she separated? I don't know. So then season 2 ends. So season 3 opens with Jessie admitting to this emotional affair with, like, 2 kisses, but denying they had sex. The women are, like, shook because Jessie let Demi take all the heat for months while hiding her own involvement. Then they take lie detector tests at a Bonvoy property that confirmed Jessie didn't have sex with Marciano. Some results were inconclusive, but apparently something did happen between Demi and Marciano. Like, I guess they kissed. So, long story short, both Jessie and Demi both just kissed this dude, and all of this, I don't know, but also Jessie's texts weren't doing her any favors. I don't know, you guys. And her reading them in front of her husband, like, that guy sucks, but still, weird judgment call. So then the Demi situation gets really confusing. First of all, one of the reasons because her and Jessie were thick as thieves season 1. Season 2, we find out the reason that they had a falling out is because Demi allegedly suggested producers kick Jessie off the show so Demi could get paid more, which is not like a great thing to do to your BFF. They're supposedly best friends. Jessie was giving nothing for a season, to be fair, but also that's like a really shitty negotiation tactic. So Demi, like, then reappears mid-season 3. Apparently, she demanded, like, 3 times everyone's salary. Like, I don't know. I wanna be careful talking about this, but I think a lot of people think what it looks like is Demi allegedly was way too flirty and inappropriate with this Marciano person, and she's married, and she didn't want her husband to find out, and he was in a position to expose it. She calls him a sexual predator on the internet, and then she goes along with this narrative during filming of season 3. I think anybody would understand, like, placating. So, like, if somebody was threatening you, holding something over your head, and you were pretending to play nice because you were afraid of what they could do, of course I would understand that. But it was, yeah, if you saw the text, if you watched the episode, it's just different. If you called someone a sexual predator, why are you sending a video of your daughter, like, praying to him? He has, like, a nickname in her phone, FaceTimes, continued flirtiness, her kind of going out of her way to say Brett knew the whole time. And it's like, no, I don't think so. I think that's you even saying that's suspicious because I think the whole issue is that you didn't want him to find out. She says that her husband, Brett, like, would feel bad for Marciano sometimes and, like, it's like, should we send him DoorDash? And, like, it's really, listen, we believe women, of course. That's what we default to. But we also have to be practical and look at the evidence presented. I don't want to make it an arbitrary thing of, like, who we believe and who we don't believe and say, I know for certain what happened and paint her in a bad light because who knows? This might have been something, like, really inappropriate and alarming and upsetting to her. But a couple things were red flags to me. One is that last season, the way that she basically tried to make Chase seem like he put hands on her when he literally brushed past her. And then her husband, like, ran out into the yard to beat up Chase, like, aggressively, almost like, chunky sweater off Jax Taylor parking lot Vegas style. It was so aggressive on her husband's part. He was so mad for the most non-issue ever. The fact that Demi is saying, this person assaulted me, I'm traumatized, I'm placating him and pretending to be friendly, but also my husband kind of feels bad for him and wants to send him DoorDash. Your husband dashed out the door to literally beat Chase's face in for just brushing past you at a Halloween party. And I do think it's fair for the cast to question that. I'm not saying she's lying entirely, but I am saying, even though I don't, like, think it's insane we harped on this storyline for so many episodes, I do think it's fair of the MomTok girls to call attention to the fact that, like, there's some incongruence here. The optics of it seem to be like her kind of reframing what happened in retrospect when it was, like, maybe gonna come out. You know what I mean? Actually, okay, I'm not gonna tiptoe. I told myself I was gonna tiptoe less because people are mad at everything you say anyway, and you might as well just have an opinion. This is, like, such a sticky topic, though, and, like, I think the thing that makes me mad is the very legitimate reasons Demi is giving for, like, people pushing back on victims make my type of interrogation seem cruel and insensitive. But she's well-versed enough in, like, therapy speak and, like, feminist discourse to know exactly, like, which phrases will make people hesitate to question her. And using, like, the anti-victim blaming language to prevent any reasonable questioning for inconsistencies. I think by and large, most women have come into contact with a situation like this, and it is awful. And we know how hard it is to come forward. And we know that it is impossible, especially when you're in the same like friend group or circles, to know how to carry on with these people. And you sometimes do act chummy. Like I think that's like understandable. Do I think it was appropriate for her to compare her situation to the context and severity of like Michaela and Macy's experiences with sexual abuse, with like their with like childhood trauma? No, I thought that was incredibly inappropriate. It wasn't even about like doubting Demi's experience. It was watching her use the other women's traumatic experiences as like a tool or like the I don't know. I think that I don't know. Even if Demi had a legitimate grievance and this story is true, still leveraging other people's sexual trauma to validate your claims crosses a line, I think. And it feels like she was using their pain as like somewhat of a shield to dodge questions about her own inconsistencies. It made everybody super uncomfortable. I think it was really hurtful to Macy and Michaela since she brings up victim blaming, saying that questioning why she stayed friendly with Marciano was like asking an abuse victim, why didn't you leave? And that, again, that's a valid point about how we interrogate victims. But the context doesn't work here. Like, allegedly, she was using a legitimate framework about abuse dynamics to deflect from questions about sending flirty messages, nicknames in phones, FaceTiming, husband's approval, DoorDash, sending videos of your daughter after the alleged incident. The girls weren't asking, why didn't you fight back? What were you wearing? They were asking about these very specific friendly interactions that seemed to contradict her narrative that she was like terrified of him. So, like, when we talk about, like, why didn't you leave? We're talking about cycles of abuse and power dynamic, physical proximity, financial dependence, psychological manipulation. Like, we're talking about scenarios that involve really complicated things that people don't always factor in when they're oversimplifying situations involving abuse. It's not that I want to litigate what did or didn't happen because I don't know. And we also only know what they show us on the show. Like, she doesn't have control of the edit and what information we're fed. My most generous, understanding is that there's something we're missing. And yeah, I never want to invalidate anybody's feelings. It's like, I think that's what Whitney and Connor were trying to do. I mean, Whitney, I think, should have pushed maybe a little harder, but I also understand she's in a weird position and that's her only friend. But I think that even if some of the like details seemed off, they wanted to at least first and foremost validate that something happened, she found it upsetting, she found it inappropriate. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I think that they didn't know what to do in that situation. Kind of like I don't even know how to appropriately talk through it without feeling nervous because I so deeply care about this and would never want to present as somebody who's frivolously dismissing a woman's claims. But again, it's not even the claims itself I'm the most focused on. It's the behavior when people are asking clarifying questions. Because the thing that would give you credibility is to clarify what happened and to answer those questions. But instead of doing that, you're trying to give yourself credibility by using anti-victim blaming language and like pseudo feminist discourse to make everybody look bad for questioning. So you don't look bad for not having answers, you know? Anyways, that was the only thing that I felt like I needed to explain in better detail that I didn't in this episode with Nora. I won't like recap everything. But yeah, the big plot lines were Jordan and Jesse and Jordan and their like separation as a result of her emotional affair and two kisses. The entanglement with Demi, Whitney's redemption arc that in season 5 I was so angry I couldn't carry on. But then episode 10 we got to a better place. Taylor and Dakota hooked up at Stagecoach and she's like kind of giddy and flirty and like I think she just really wants to be with him, which is so sad. But it comes out that Dakota was sexting Taylor's mom's friend, like basically a family friend who like comes to Christmas. Like it was really sad. And she's like crying backstage at Jimmy Kimmel. And she's an ex-bachelorette. It's just dark. We get into that. Dad talk emerged and nobody cares. My God, get off my screen. Mom talk might be dead, but was it ever alive? Like we don't know because we don't know what it is. We don't know what it does. And honestly, none of these people are even friends. But the good news is we did see Lana Del Rey, who's obsessed with the show. We saw Miranda literally could not be less engaged or involved with the show or aware of what's going on at any time. She's so beautiful and seems lovely. And it's funny to me that she was so coveted for season 1 because she was the other swinger. But meanwhile, she's kind of giving us nothing but go off. Michaela and Macy are friends, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, they seem to kind of hate each other, but they're contractually obligated to like keep filming together while their husbands start a rival TikTok group and actually seem to be legitimate friends, but I don't want to see their show. So yeah, while they're transactionally filming with each other because it's their business, they also accuse Whitney of like being a soulless wench for just saying she wanted to go on Dancing with the Stars, and this is all business to her, even though this is all a giant transaction. So just wanted to give you my 2 cents. Well, I guess not, because MomTok is dead and so are pennies. So what are you gonna do? Speaking of pennies, this episode is brought to you by Six Penny. Weird transition. You know those like sofas, whether it's at your fanciest friend's house, maybe like an Architectural Digest home tour, like the sofa, or like a Nancy Meyers movie where you're like that looks impossibly comfortable, but also somehow chic and has like clean lines, but like how does it look lived in? And I feel like Six Pennies, that's their whole thing. Like they've cracked the code on furniture that looks like it belongs in a Nancy Meyers movie, but like you can actually live on it. What makes them unique is their machine washable luxury slip covers that make so much sense if you have kids, pets, I don't know, a life. And they're like elevated slipcover sofas that people are obsessed with. And I discovered recently, and I'm obsessed with. Slipcovers are back in a big way, you guys. I've since learned Sixpenny is one of those brands design professionals recommend when like clients want a California casual, cool, but make it sophisticated look type vibe, which is all I could ever ask for, but never embody. But they have their own factory, so they're not like one of like I like to say the millennial middlemen company. They actually are direct to consumer, so it's not like marked up nonsense you usually see with high end furniture. Sixpenny is reimagining luxury at home with extraordinarily comfortable slip covered furniture for living, dining, and sleeping spaces. They also have distinctive tables, accent pieces. Their mantra is timelessness over trend, comfort over convenience, and they have exclusive all natural and recycled fabrics. They're I'm sure you can imagine them when I say like these gorgeous, breezy, like linens, cottons, stunning textiles without the use of chemical coatings. And they use ethically sourced feather and down for incredibly loungy, lofty cushions. And there's a vegan option too, if that's something that's important to you. And all their products are fully customizable, not just configurable. It's important to know that you can order 12 free fabric swatches to get a sense of the materials first, which I do think is important when ordering like a custom sofa. Sixpenny is just like, yeah, the perfect casual chic with all the textiles I know you guys love. And be sure to check them out, whether today or some quiet Sunday morning when you're feeling inspired. Visit sixpenny.com/be there in 5 for a stroll through their impeccably designed pieces and perhaps even order yourself some free swatches. That's sixpenny.com/be there in 5. Things I liked. It was very therapy forward, and some people seem committed to like evolving. And Nora and I talk about this a bit too. Like something that's interesting about some of the cast members is like they're young enough to be evolving, but culturally Mormon enough that their instinct is to preserve their image right up until they crack. You know what I mean? It kind of creates this push pull between self protection and self discovery that I think is a breath of fresh relative to Housewives of Salt Lake City, which is a show I love that is reality TV gold. They're legends, but I feel frustrated sometimes by how stubborn and guarded the women are when they're accused of something or they bring up something. It makes them look so much guiltier. They're like foam boarding and laminating their lawsuits with like their headshot transposed on it to be like, not guilty. Fuck all y'all. I'm like, Lisa Barlow, I love you, but the bar is low. The bar is in hell when it comes to your reactions to things like being at all appropriate to like what you're accused of. Like it just makes you look so guilty. It makes you look crazy. And I love you and I can't quit you. And you're so pretty and you're so scary. But like, no, I don't think that the second you're successful, people actually get sued that much. Because I mean, sure, you're not in MomTok, but you're also not like Microsoft. Vita Tequila. I don't know, you guys. Like the thing about reality TV is on the internet and on TV, as a character in a show or as a person on a phone, to connect with individual people who don't know you, to gain popularity, vulnerability is the currency. But in the real world, with your personal relationships and your inner circle, like your reputation's your currency. And those things are often at odds, especially in Salt Lake City when reputation and image, there's, as we've discussed, like a cultural, not doctrinal necessarily, like priority of like keeping up appearances. They talk about it on these shows a lot. And sometimes the women on these shows are like fighting so hard, I think, for what keeps their reputation sterling within a 20-mile radius at the expense of like what opening up could do for like connecting with people around the world. If fame and influence and money and notoriety are like what you're after. And if you're not, I have no idea why you're on not why you're on reality TV. But you know what I mean? Like I think that sometimes people are like trying to protect themselves and like keep something a secret and they look crazy doing it because of like 5 people in their life, when I think like if they were honest and came clean and were vulnerable and like were willing to film the process and do the thing that they signed up for, they'd like see the dividends of the honesty and the people would relate to them more. Because the thing is, you can't be an unlikable villain. Like we have to feel like we understand you. We have to feel like we're connecting with you. I guess Whitney's a better example of somebody who's like, to me, a likable villain. And you kind of forget why you didn't like her in the first place. Because again, I cannot remember the life of me, except for the pea cake. She put pea sticks, so like pregnancy sticks, into a cake to tell people she was pregnant, which, ew, but forgivable. We all have made cake-related mistakes. So yeah, episodes 1 through 4, drama is contracts, group status, generalized scandals, Minky influencer party. There's no intimate revelations except the disgusting like text Jessie reads while her husband's present. Apparently her Instagram now is her maiden name and she took off her married name and they're selling their house. $2.5 million if you're interested. So yeah, don't know if that's gonna last. The last thing I'll say is like I think what kind of bothers me is how Jace came across like a great husband. And he did say all the right things in many moments, but also like get a life, get a job, get out of here, go fuck yourself literally. This woman is pregnant, having your fourth child. Who cares if she's not being intimate with you? Give me a break. Deal with it. I find there's like an entitlement religious men feel to like their the wifely duty of like how much sex you have to have with your husband. And she is like in her third trimester, just like filming a show. She's the primary breadwinner for her family. Tugboat just hopped up here. I think he heard me getting worked up. My firstborn. Speaking of bearing children. Ugh. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, she's the breadwinner of her family. She's dealing with the discomfort of late pregnancy. She is publicly articulating and personally working through her childhood trauma while carrying her fourth child, doing all of it while filming a reality TV show. She's at Stagecoach for the love of God in her third trimester. She's been through enough. Like, it's not fun to be super pregnant and posing next to like mega hotties in hot pants. Well, you can't even wear pants, you know? I don't know. The whole time I was like, she's pregnant. On what planet are we talking about your sexual needs? Why the hell would we be wasting our breath talking about this when she has like an obvious like physical excuse to not be intimate right now, even if there's like deeper emotional stuff you want to work through later? Like, can we give it a rest? But that's like maybe something cultural too, in terms of like the presentation of pregnancy as like righteous and pleasant. And I don't know, like she wasn't really pushing back on her being pregnant part at all. It probably depends on, your individual experience. And perhaps I'm projecting. Maybe this is a sexual prime for many women, and I'm unaware. I hated being pregnant so much. I have a lot of feelings about that time, but I wouldn't classify pregnancy for me as a romantic endeavor as much as it was more like a major medical event that I like made everybody else's problem, you know? So to each their own. Also, there's like there's a darker side of that too. I don't even have time to get into, but like, okay, Michaela, she's been very open about her like childhood trauma and her dealing with sexual abuse at age of 6 and also at 15. And at 15, she told her mom and her mom didn't believe her and dismissed it. She moved out of her mom's house at 15. She gets pregnant at 16 by Jace, who is 21 at the time. So I'll just leave you at that in terms of, I think it's interesting we're not really digging deeper here because they're positioning Jace as her rock in terms of helping her process all this childhood trauma. And I know there's like Romeo and Juliet laws in Utah, whatever. Are there? I don't know. I can't even get into that right now. Also, they died, you guys. Is Utah law operating in the Taylor Swift Shakespearean canon or like the actual literary one? Because it didn't turn out well for Romeo and Juliet. But maybe that's the most accurate name of all, because if that lowers the age of consent, that is the biggest tragedy of all. God, bringing down the room again. Okie doke. Well, sorry for that. Sorry for reminding you about the pea stick cake. These are some of my hot takes. I'll see you around. So this is us talking like right after we watched it, or Nora watched some of it. I like half watched all of it. But before I like metabolized a lot of it. So this is kind of a more high level discussion. You just heard my more in-depth thoughts after having several days to process, but hopefully it's not redundant. I wanted to do an intro to carve out some of the deeper things I thought were worth discussing. And we do a lot of like Housewives talk here too. So hopefully that's okay. I would assume there's a lot of crossover fans. All right, you guys, I'll see you around. Rate, review 5 stars, subscribe, all the things help me out. But more importantly, please enjoy this conversation with the Pope's #1 fan, esteemed author, beloved podcaster, and my personal friend, Nora McInerny. This episode is brought to you by Revolve. Guys, there was a time I didn't think I was cool enough to shop on Revolve, but it is not for 22-year-olds going to Coachella. I mean, it is, and if you are that, shout out. But if you're anything like me and absolutely spiral out when you have an event to go to, my body's changed so much over the past 2 years. Every time I have to go somewhere, it's like kind of a nightmare. And Revolve has helped me so much by their curated edits and just telling me what is current, what is cute, what matches. It just takes the guesswork out of like looking chic. And anytime I'm looking or a friend is looking for like, what do I wear to X? Like I have friends going to BravoCon this week, freaking out about what to pack for Vegas. I'm like, literally go to Revolve, go to this edit. Anything on there will be cool, will be current. You will feel cute in. Order it all. They have fast free shipping and returns, such good customer service. They have new arrivals daily, inclusive sizing options with options from extra small to 4X. Personalized product recommendations based on your favorites. Everything I've worn to anything in recent history, including the Wicked premiere this week, like a Chicago premiere of Wicked. I think I'm going to wear an Amanda Uprichard pink suit. Thank you for asking. I also have the same matching set and slightly different silhouette in green, so I could go alpha, only time will tell. I'm sure I'll be waiting with bated breath. Actually, no, I think I'm going to wear a set from Revolve from Soroya. It's a brand that I've discovered on Revolve, and I have this like pink cardigan, like knitwear set that I get so many questions about in ways I've never had people so interested in a pink cardigan, and it's so comfortable, so maybe I'll wear that. Anyway, glad we worked this out on air. From Amanda Uprichard to Norma Kamali, A Goldie, Super Down, Lovers and Friends, Free People. They have like designer items, but they also have really affordable stuff. Like I have this lioness bomber jacket my sorority sister just messaged me thanking me for the link to because she loves it too, that I'm wearing constantly. I just think that Revolve they have this sweet spot of clothes that aren't so trendy you'll hate it in 3 months, but aren't so basic you'll feel like invisible, you know? Just, to me, it's like nice things that make you feel like a person who deserves nice things, which apparently I forget until I watch The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which we're talking about in this episode. And I'm like, oh yeah, getting dressed is an art form. Getting dressed is supposed to be fun. And I think I've just had a contentious relationship with it, especially ever since having a kid, that I don't need to get into right now because this isn't therapy, this is an ad. But shout out to Revolve for making me feel cool again. And if you have any events, if you're like spiraling out about what to wear to a holiday party, literally just go to their edit called The Holiday Shop. It will tell you exactly what you need to wear. I also love one called Cool Girl Capsule Wardrobe. I love like an oversized slouchy silhouette with an expensive looking drape, no logos, kind of that undone sophistication look, you know, like either monochrome or neutral, lots of like burgundies thrown in, oversized blazers, wide leg trousers, a matching set with a long wool coat. Oh, the dream. So yeah, I'm not exactly buying party girl clothes. There's life after Coachella, but not Stagecoach for MomTok, as we saw on this season. Regardless, whether it's a weekend away, a big night out, or just a little style refresh, your dream wardrobe is just one click away. Head to revolve.com/BeThereIn5, shop my edit, and take 15% off your first order with code BeThereIn5. Fast 2-day shipping, easy returns. It's literally the only place you need to shop from. That's revolve.com/BeThereIn5 to shop my favorites and get 15% off your first order with code BeThereIn5. Offer ends November 30th, so happy shopping. Nora McInerny, welcome back to the Be There in 5 podcast. I'm so happy to see your face is healed.
Oh,
it looks great. It's like it never happened.
Kate, no, it is like it happened. It is like it happened. And I need to say that I've heard from a lot of people since that episode aired. Who have said, look, Groupon is back. And who also said, should I maybe not use Groupon to get something done to my face that should be done by a medical professional? So we saved faces with that episode. Without makeup, you can still kind of see it's discolored here now. I never had that, so that's great.
Part of the healing process, so they say.
She was like, yeah, you have to have scabs. Like,
I also heard somebody randomly identified you at a wedding this weekend as a Pope-obsessed individual from the podcast, or just in general as an acolyte of the Roman Catholic Church.
A leader in the conversation about popes, okay? She said, I'm just a local Catholic who heard that you love to talk about popes. She's a Be There in 5 fan, so shout out to Claire. She's going to hear this. She said, what I want is actually more. I want a separate podcast, Caroline, Kate, and Nora digging into papal drama, gossip, highlights, lowlights.
I know this won't make you happy, but I'm like, just watch Spotlight. I don't know. It's been done.
Watch Conclave. Did you watch Conclave?
Watch Conclave. Conclave, yeah. I watched it after you told me to watch it.
I didn't watch it till right before. Okay. I texted you right before we started, and I said I wouldn't talk about popes.
Honestly, people were way more endeared to it than I thought. In the episode, the episode had me coming out looking like Demi and you looking like Whitney. I looked like the villain for interrupting you, just so innocently wanting to tell your Pope story. So the floor is yours. The altar is yours.
Thank you. I didn't watch Conclave till right before we had a conclave and I was ready for it to keep going, and it was too short. There was no drama.
I do think it would be fun to go see the smoke and like be there in the action. And honestly, every time I've seen the Pope bless the people and St. Peter's Square, it's pretty moving. It's like people all over the world just there just for a moment to see this man's face who's not even been the same man. I don't know how you can be like a long term whatever. But honestly, this one is doing well in my book. We've been dealing with a lot in Chicago. He's been very vocal about immigration. And he's also, can women be priests? No, God, no, never. No, but he's doing some stuff. He's trying. Yeah. I feel like he's a more progressive guy.
Did you see that TikTok of all the bishops saying, "Oh, we're concerned. We're concerned." And I was like, guys, I love it.
Progressive.
No. They were saying we're concerned about the world. We're concerned about America. We're concerned about immigration. It was like real well-produced TikTok. I did repost it, even though I was like, guys, it's been a thing. Like, where have you been? Like, why am I a liberal? I'm a liberal because I was raised Catholic. Doy.
Honestly, the point I'm always wanting to make in religious circles is how, most religions should be the most pro-social services. It's pretty absurd. But yeah, I did see that TikTok you reposted, and I did see their statement. There is something like a smidge funny to me about, I think they had like a formal opinion about AI or something. And I'm like, ordain women. Like, okay, I get it. We're all worried about AI. It's just like the most progressive dudes in the world being like, something's off. Something's off.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I think we can all agree. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, we won't go down that rabbit hole, but I think
we got it out of our system.
Fair. I think it's fair before we talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which also connects, and I'm sure we'll make the connection between that and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I think you have to talk about religion first, don't you? Because we're talking about two shows where religion is the unnamed cast member.
I've been thinking about this all morning because what ended up happening is I was utterly bored to tears the first 4 episodes of Secret Lives.
Oh my God. Yeah.
See, episode 5, I'm back, baby. It's midnight or something. Like, it was late. And I'm like, okay. So as a palate cleanser, I watched, like, to fall asleep, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City episode. I didn't know that they, like, did a full-on crossover with Below Deck. I'm like, wait, Joao's here? Daisy? Ben, the chef? I was, like, so confused. I think I slept an hour last night because then I watched all the Salt Lake Cities, and then I went back to Mormon Wives. And I actually think it gave me, like, a really interesting immersion in both worlds of, like, older and younger women whose life is so defined by maintaining image and status and the secrets they keep that are largely driven by their religious upbringing or the culture of a predominantly religious geography. And I have so many thoughts about comparing and contrasting these gals, especially because one of your initial comments when you were also bored to tears was they could never be housewives.
I was so bored. I said, this is no Real Housewives. This is no Real Housewives. And I think I feel that way. Maybe it's something about the editing. I think that so little happens when they're together for the most part, right? That there's so many confessionals. I feel like it's almost all confessional in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You know, it's all them like reflecting on describing a thing instead of us ever seeing the thing happen. And if I have to hear one more confessional, I think that if you had AI do an analysis of every minute of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 3, it would be primarily people saying, I don't trust her motivations. And I mean, MomTok is just like the way it's described, you would think that they are talking about, a publicly traded company, MomTok, right, LLC, or like a formal, university program like that they've enrolled in,
right? Something with
and
stakes.
Not just a group of friends. Like, I just don't know.
Right.
I'm like, what are we talking about? They're like, well, like a lot happened. A lot has happened with MomTok, and we just have a lot going on with MomTok. What are it's a television show. There's 2 different things we're talking about. We're talking about a television show for which you have all been cast and are all employed, and we are talking about a loose affiliation of influencers who know each other socially. What are we talking about?
I've thought about this a lot because I agree. I'm like, is this an LLC? like if they are voting people in and out, how do we think about this entity from an organizational standpoint? But I think that they see themselves more as public servants elected by the democracy of social media, and they owe something just the people.
They do. There's just a lot of events going on for MomTok. Like they are caucusing, like they're doing rallies. Like we have to get these. First of all, we have been empowered. And so if we do not go to these events and therefore pass on the power, we are less empowered. We got to go.
Pride Parade. Looking out for you.
But I like what you're saying about we're watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. While I find Salt Lake City much more intriguing personally, we are watching like two ends of the spectrum because yes, the spectrum ends when you are in your late 50s as a woman.
Yes, it all ends.
The road for you. Mid 50s, not even 50. It's honestly hard to tell how old some of these women are. Some of the women on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives who are 23, if you told me they were 46, I would say, yeah, she looks like I went to high school. She looks like she was a senior when I was a freshman. Like
I know.
It's hard to tell.
We also think we are so young. Like I am always identifying with the younger people. Exactly. Yeah. I think I'm like older than Whitney Rose. I think she's in her late 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're 36.
I'm 38.
Really? Okay. Well.
Oh my God. Thank you though.
Huh. Yeah.
She's 39. Yeah. She's 1 year older than me.
Oh. Whew. Well, I'm 27, as everybody knows. Notable 27-year-old me, and these are my gray hairs, and that's okay. That happens to people at all kinds of ages for all kinds of reasons, and it's fine. But okay, so we're seeing this, like these two ends of the spectrum, where a lot of these women on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives are doing things emotionally that the women of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City have not or will not do maybe ever in their lives.
Yep.
Like realizing, getting married and having children when you're 19. I might not have made like the best decision for myself. Right. And this might not be exactly like who and where I want to be. And they're having more conversations about their faith. I mean, with the exception being Heather Gay, right? And like a little bit of Whitney Rose. Like, I don't know. And yet it always feels like on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, they're also somehow not saying anything at all. I don't know how to explain
I know. Okay, so which episodes did you watch? You watched one, and then I told you skip to 4 or 5 because Whitney
I watched
comes
one,
back then.
Part of 4. And again, so much of it is a recap. And then a reminder. So much of it is like, well, we all know what happened with Demi. I don't remember what happened with Demi.
I have no idea.
This feels like last season when we were like, why do we hate Whitney? What happened? What did Demi do? We don't know. Then I watched all of 5. That's where it got interesting. And then I skipped ahead to 10 because I am experiencing, obviously we're having some financial stress in our house because we are watching Disney Plus with 7 or 8 ad breaks, 2 minutes each.
I gave you my login.
The
greed there is astounding. No planet should a subscription service also have ads. That was never the case before. It's disgusting. I'm horrified. And they still haven't made amends with ABC, or YouTube TV hasn't. And I'm still paying for that too.
I'm still paying for YouTube TV. I'm paying for it. That's all I'm
I thought something much more dramatic was about to come out of your mouth.
I'm paying for it.
You did the Bronwyn like hand bob tuck.
When I see Bronwyn's bob, I'm ready to take a craft scissors to my hair right after this call. But that's how thin my hair is, so it's not gonna do what hers does. I don't think.
What a character! Where did they find her? Like, who shows up amidst all this mystery about skeletons in her closet, like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on a boat with a couture involving an inflatable raft and like harness, like a ladder sleeve? I'm just like, where is this woman? She's endlessly interesting.
I love that she speaks like in a mid-Atlantic accent from like the 1930s. She's like, well, I told Todd.
And she modulates when she's like trying to really get her point across. She like really softens her words. It is interesting.
It's cool. I'm trying to get my point across. You don't know where I'm going, and neither do I, and it's scary for everyone. It's
I
scary
think
for
you would
everyone.
make great reality TV personally.
You look so good. Kate Kennedy, again, there's 2 episodes in a row where your skin is I can't believe you slept 1 hour. I slept 8 hours. Look at me.
I think you look great. I started this by telling you your skin has transformed, so it worked, the macro needling.
Yeah.
But B, you know what my secret is that I put on makeup in front of my camera, not in a mirror. Because in person, this doesn't look all that natural and normal.
Yeah,
but
it looks really
I'm
good right
optimizing for camera.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I'm an Earl girl, Alex Earl.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Something she taught me is when you're tired, you use like a nude eyeliner on your waterline. So like my eyes look bigger and more open.
They look so
because
good.
Of that. It looks a little
Just
silly,
your
but
skin, though. Your skin looks so good.
You know what's so crazy?
You just look really pretty.
Thank you so much, Nora. And I will I need to eat crow. Is that what they say? Because I got my current skin tint off of Groupon because the day after we talked, I couldn't find my
That's true. There was a confession.
This Derma Spa brand of a skin tint that I also wanted, and I hunted for it. The only place that sold it was Groupon. I was like, what the fuck? I literally have not seen them since like 2016. Yeah. And you were right. They gave it to me promptly. It was at a reasonable price, and I'm so sorry for what I put you through.
That's okay. That's okay.
What I was going to say about I took some notes about Housewives versus Secret Lives. The beginning part was just about...
Guys, these are notes. These are notes. Okay.
Yeah. The beginning part was just about Jesse and Jordan. And like, I can't be bothered to care. But I think there was just a lot more meat toward the end and a lot more like emotional evolution and willingness to be vulnerable that I found interesting. And to me, it's like the younger Mormon wives, they understand that vulnerability is currency. They understand that your secrets will come out this day and age, and that people can clock who's being fake like pretty quick. And I think that in contrast to the Housewives, which is deny, deny, deny. You say something about me, I'm going to threaten you with lawyers. I'm not going to attempt to evolve myself. I'm not going to be more vulnerable. We're not going to sit in a circle and kumbaya. I'm going to call my lawyers. I'm going to use my husband as a shield. I'm going to act like the audience is dumb. Like, I think that I love the Housewives because, like, we the people need to talk about that Meredith Marks has probably allegedly had like a pill problem for a long time. She was in an Ambien coma, I think.
Yeah.
And Mary Cosby's was like trying not to cry, speaking to her, and it was shit was like I feel bad saying it was good TV, but that was like a powerful moment of connection between two women. One of whom I literally the first few seasons thought was like a cyborg. I was like, I didn't think Mary was a real person for years, and now she's like this incredible like friend and a voice of reason. I mean, this is why I have goosebumps. This is why these shows are amazing. But that I don't know. I think that like Meredith being like so intense, like something she said, because I was like, what on the boat?
That was my favorite.
Somebody asked at breakfast. Somebody asked Meredith, "How's your toe?" "It's all right." Because I'm a survivor. And when other women are talking shit, they're not going to get me down. But today, my bone to pick isn't with Brittany, it's with Whitney. And I'm like, oh my God. All they did was ask you how your toe was because she bumped it on her shower. But like, she does go 0 to 100. That wasn't wrong. That wasn't misleading. And like, it was crazy to watch her explode after that allegation and just like deny, deflect the whole thing. Like, those women are they are dead set on maintaining whatever is left of their image at all costs, but it looks so suspicious, Nora. Barlow looks suspicious. Meredith Marks looks suspicious. I don't know what to make of Brittany, but I don't believe in systematic bullying of her or Whitney. What do you think?
Look, okay. So, a few things. I think that any show, like the magic of Salt Lake City has like almost worn off. I think that was like, it's such a good cast. It has been such a good cast from the beginning, but things fall apart when people are too aware of the audience. And that happens, like it's already happening a little bit in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but that's happening a lot in Salt Lake City when they break that fourth wall and they're talking about bloggers, they're talking about like what happened on Twitter or on TikTok, like, which is obviously a real part of the experience of being on reality TV, but also pulls us out of the moment that we are in and like reminds us like, oh, we are watching something that's kind of fake too.
Right.
And there is like a certain amount of artifice even between the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like you said, oh, they understand that, vulnerability is currency. And in some aspects on this show too, like that's their shield. They don't use their husband as the shield. They use oh, well, I went through this thing. Like, oh, this is like my trauma. Like you can't.
Right.
It's like
they
the trauma
weaponize
plot.
it and use it for good, depending on what it strategically serves.
Yeah,
totally.
And yeah, it's only a matter of time before the Secret Lives of Mormon wife cast is suing each other, or is, doing these things. So if your star gets,
that's true, that's
so
true.
high, like you're going to start doing that. Lisa Barlow wasn't threatening to sue people in the first season. They weren't looking up each other's lawsuits in the first season. They were all absolutely shocked when Jen Shaw was arrested.
Right.
Even when Jen Shaw was saying like her job was internet.
Right. The first season they were like, so Mary, you married your grandpa?
Yeah.
What's
that
about?
Yeah. And they're all like, oh. And even like second season, right? They're well, yeah, like Mary, maybe some people in her church say it's a cult and they, signed over allegedly like all of their life savings. And, should a pastor have, a house full of clothes that say Chanel? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. And also a house that kind of reminds me of like Willy Wonka, the furniture, the scale and the color of those furniture choices. But yeah, but they're not really like confronting anything deeper, even when they kind of think they are. But I don't know. It's like to get them all into one room would be interesting. To actually have them as a mentor program. They should do a big sister program. It's like one Real Housewife to one Secret Life.
Wow. Yeah, like Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Yeah. Really,
that would be an that like kind of like wife swap, but for mentorship. God, there is no better TV than some light mentorship.
Have a match up and like get through some hard stuff together. I don't know. I think that would be interesting.
Because I think Meredith, like, and Barlow are such, like, Demi types. I'm kind of a Barlow apologist, and I don't want to be, but I think it's because I can't help it. I'm so scared. I'm so scared of her, and I know she wouldn't like me, and I know I would beg for her affection endlessly. And, like, I think I just already have that parasocial dynamic with her where, like, I don't expect anything from her. I just think she's really pretty. She's really assertive. And I don't know. I just think, like, she's just a funny kind of, like, I don't even want to call her delusional. I don't know. I need to ask the people of Utah if you can actually find Vita tequila in a liquor store. I am curious.
Why are they just now questioning the legitimacy of Vita tequila? I know. Like, you know what I mean? Like they all took those engraved bottles. They all they all were there for like her branding moments with Vita tequila. None of them said anything, but now they're like, nobody even drinks Vita tequila. I've never tried Vita tequila, but What's shocking to me is that the things that were, we watched I think in episode 5, all the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives girls are questioning. They're always questioning. First of all, they have to question each other's motives. Why is she here? You're on a TV show together. That's why Whitney's here. Right. Whitney also signed a contract. She's on a TV show with you. That's why she's here. Is it self-serving? Yeah, all of you are there for none of you are there as volunteers to the nonprofit peacock.org.
Yeah.
Or Hulu.org, whatever it is. Okay, whatever, streamingservice.gov. None of you. Like you were all there for work. Like get real. What are you talking about? But the way that they all like teamed up on Whitney, and I'm a crier. When I cry like Whitney, that's how I know it's like real. Like when like the voice is like that kind of cry to me. Like that was very, very affecting. Very, very affecting. And I know they'll watch that and be embarrassed, right? They got to a different place by episode 10. But I don't know how much of Salt Lake City you watched this year or this season.
I'm caught up. I skipped some of the middle filler episodes.
Okay. Well, I think it was pretty much a middle filler episode, but like, Angie has been having these like huge outbursts at Lisa Barlow, like bringing a box of stuff, like you gave this stuff to me and I don't want it anymore, like in public, like screaming at her, like pointing. It's good TV, but I'm also like, you're in your 40s.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I yelled at a friend.
I mean, ever. Like, I just don't.
I'm drunk. My blacked out 20s? I'm sure I did it. I'm sure I did it. It's like true, like arrested development to see women acting that way. And it made me as uncomfortable as watching these women who are moms. Yes, some of them are 23, don't even have a prefrontal cortex fully formed yet. Some of them are like in their early 30s. But like watching a group of women who are responsible for other people in the world, like all sit there like this while someone cries and be like,
I know. I had that exact same thought. I was like, you guys, I mean, not to hold moms to an impossible standard, but I will hold them to a kind one when someone's in pain.
And all of you?
I know. And that scene was really hard to come back. It was so like distractingly cruel. It was hard to, that's why I had to palate cleanse and watch another show and come back to it. And I will, in the episodes you missed, Taylor and Whitney kind of had a breakthrough about why Whitney was doing that. And she talked about how she was like, would over focus on the all business aspect because like she actually did care about them but wasn't ever getting through to anybody, and it like there was no point in trying anymore, and like that all like makes a ton of sense. I think that like she kind of came in overcorrecting, guns blazing, being like, I'm just here for business, I'm here for Dancing with the Stars, which again is not anything to really villainize because this entire thing's a giant transaction. What was interesting about the Whitney conversation is I see a pattern or a parallel with what's happening in the ballroom, with her being so concerned about like scoring and leaderboards, and her being so focused, and people kind of talking shit about her wanting to be at the top, like as if you're not in a competition where there's a winner. And I think that that's maybe something that Whitney has a tendency to focus on, is maybe if the social thing isn't her priority or isn't connecting, she's going to focus on the business aspect, the competition aspect, the like, I don't know, part where she has something to gain, because she also is like a breadwinner mom of 3 kids who these careers are like kind of pretty unpredictable, trying to get herself a lily pad like we all are in this game. And Dancing with the Stars is the biggest one she'll maybe ever get, and this will fundamentally change her life. So she was right to do it, and I think she had that vision. But do I think it's becoming to have those conversations in person? No. I'd probably be like, oh geez, I thought we were friends. But I also too,
would you think you were friends if all last season you were like, why are you even at this party?
I know.
Like, why?
But the thing is,
and when Jen said that to her, Jen said, oh, this is so transactional. I flashed back to Whitney, like sitting in Jen's house with her, like in the throes of like postpartum depression, like just letting her sit there in her dirty house with her greasy hair and like just cleaning up for her, like being there and being present for it. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like that was such friendship, you know?
That was. And you know who did not look good this season was Jen.
Who's Jen? Who's Jen?
Jen Affleck, the other Dancing with the Stars contestant.
That's exactly. I just said her name, Jen, and
I
was like, "Who's Jen?" Jen is so.
I was really rooting for her on the show, and her situation's tough. Her husband's tough. He wasn't even on this season. I don't know, but yeah, I think that.
Oh, so she lives in Arizona,
right? And Whitney lives 3 hours south of Salt Lake City, so. She's not, I don't think she sees them all that much. But yeah, I think the thing that really killed me about that Whitney conversation too was her being like, well, maybe I'll start my own MomTok. And they all burst out laughing. Like she could simply never. Layla does a talking head and she's like, don't hit your head on the way out. I'm like, Layla, like you literally, Whitney's carried the show. What do you,
your head is barely going in. Like,
I know.
Your head's barely in the door. What are you talking about?
That really frustrated me. Though I will say I really appreciated, there was a very nice scene in like episode 3 or 4 between Layla and Jesse. Listen, if Jesse was one of my BFFs and I had to get that clone hair by Chrissy nonsense, my husband simply could not stop talking about the hair. He was like, but it's the same hair, like on every scene. It's kind of like wild. And Layla was so nervous, bless her heart, to be like, I'm black. I have different hair and my hair has different needs. So she secretly goes and kind of talks more about her background, goes to a black hairstylist. Jessie notices that at a picnic, her like extensions are different, and they actually have a nice conversation, and Jessie was really understanding and receptive to it. And I was like, thank fucking God. Because I was ready for her to be like, but you're not. What did Whitney Rose say about you kept texting me the same line from Whitney Rose about if you don't support.
I am trying to save Wild Rose Beauty, and as a woman in business, you should care and you should understand. I love Whitney Rose. I really do. I love Whitney Rose. I love that she talks like it is her first day on earth and she is just learning and realizing things. She is healing. I love her. The person I would fawn for Lisa. I would fawn for Whitney Rose. I'm a little afraid of Heather Gay. I don't think that I would register to Meredith Marks. I don't think she would see me in any way. Right. I think I could get really close to Mary. I'll be honest. Angie, I'm just not Greek, so I don't think that could work out for us. I appreciate her passion for her heritage, but I can't handle Angie on this season. I truly can't. I can't. Much.
I was thinking about this last night, like, because I too am like, I would never. I don't talk to people like this. I've been yelled since somebody like made fun of Greg's sweater in a bar. Like, I just am not, like, my fuse isn't this short and I don't want to hurt people meaningfully. But I also think about you, somebody like you or me being placed in that situation. I think we would go crazy. I think that's the business model.
You would go crazy.
Because I think I feel so crazy watching it as a viewer. I, in the name of like justice or what's right, would insert myself, get tangled in it. Come out looking worse. I think it chews up and spits out everybody, whether you like it or not. And something you texted me last night that I wanted to follow up on, that was a fair point, given you just have spent a month in Italy, and I was there as well earlier this summer, is 2 kisses an affair? Because it kind of sounds like a European trip to me.
It does. I know. It's like, we're talking about 2 kisses here? We're talking about 2...
So my point is, I don't think it's 2 kisses.
I don't think it's 2 kisses. I was saying, I don't want to be flippant. Who knows how I'd feel? But it's like, if Matthew had 2 kisses, I'd say, is it worth telling me? Like I told him, if you're going to kiss someone twice, I don't think I need to know.
And it's like when people kiss you on the cheek twice, it's really hard not to get a lip in the crossfire.
You'll get a lip. You'll get a lip if you just get a little slightly confused over which is your left and which is your right. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's me every day. I don't know.
Do you universally go left? Is that what's supposed to happen in a cheek kiss? I go left.
Sure you offer your right cheek first.
Oh,
but honestly, I've kissed a lot of people on the mouth accidentally. So don't ask me. Okay. I've gotten a lot of like oops.
I find that Catholics who drink directly out of the chalice with reckless abandon for germs are the type of people that would mouth kiss another person and not think twice about it.
They would, and it wouldn't even bug them at all. I'm making a connection right now. The synapses are, I wouldn't say they're firing, but they're crawling towards one another right now. And I think that Brittany Bateman is closer to being a Secret Life of Mormon Wives cast member than she is a true Real Housewife of Salt Lake City. I think she is mentally and emotionally closer to that age group than she is her true biological peer group. I think she is
interesting,
kind of like a cautionary tale for some of these younger wives. Which is like, this is what happens if you don't truly like consider your life choices. Don't take the time to reorient yourself away from a man and a marriage being your ultimate goal. And like, you do not build a stable foundation for yourself, because she has nothing outside of a relationship. Nothing. She's the only one of them who doesn't have like a real story, business, career, other than her telling us she builds, she sells. She builds, she sells.
She builds, she sells. I develop.
She builds, she sells.
So she's 54. I thought she was maybe low 40s.
I mean, look, I can't speak, but there's something about the skin texture where I was like, I knew she was in her 50s. That's all.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm really bad at telling age.
Yeah. It was just a texture thing, just a
So can you just give me like a quick boilerplate reminder? So I think I missed a lot of. What's funny is I watched like maybe the first one or two episodes. I like zoomed ahead to Below Deck, and those episodes, Angie's so sick. I'm like, oh girl, and Brittany's so ganged up on. I'm like, oh. So I think I'm like pro Angie and Brittany, and you're telling me this. I'm like, okay, I definitely missed a lot. Yeah. I think we inversed in terms of you're full Salt Lake and half I'm Secret Lives, and I'm we're both missing stuff. So remind me why Brittany's kids don't talk to her.
Brittany's kid. I found her daughter on TikTok. So I'll try to find that and I'll send it to you. But
did you come across it or did you look for it?
No, I just came across it and I said, oh, a gift. So Brittany, got married, had her children, got divorced, remarried, and it was a blended family situation. She met that guy at Target. She was at the Starbucks at Target. Oh, good. They're going to do lawn stuff right outside the window. But, so she was at the Starbucks at Target. She sees this guy. She keeps trying to catch his eye. She does catch his eye. She keeps smiling at him. He checks out. He comes back and gets her number. A year later, they get engaged at that Target. So that is like a core part.
Why didn't I know that? That's hilarious.
So, and maybe that was actually her former stepdaughter who posted that, but like that's their origin story. They get together. They're like, blending this family to, like what I've heard is that in her daughter's perspective, like she prioritized this marriage ahead of them. And that is something that I think it happens. It happens to people, right? Like it happens. I think blending a family is serious business. And, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And if you are not like laser focused on your kids, like they will feel that way. And like, why wouldn't they? Like now you're marrying this guy. Like who's this? What?
Right.
Now he's like the most important thing in your life. That marriage ended and her daughters, I believe, ended up living with their dad. And then Brittany ends up in this relationship with Jared Osmond because his fiance was having an affair with Brittany's ex-husband. So they thought they were doing the old Shania Twain, right?
I was just going to say it's a classic.
It's a classic.
It's
a classic.
Yeah.
Right? But really, I mean, I think it's just like, oh, we're both, reeling from these like situations, and I guess we'll just find comfort in each other. I think you can draw your own conclusions about how you would feel if that man was dating your mom. And if your mom was fully locked in. Yeah. He's just so greasy. He's just so great. And I say that as a person whose forehead is shining right now, just shimmering, shining. He just looks wet. He looks wet.
He's such a douche.
He's such a douchebag. And like, imagine that your mom's dating that guy and she's like, he's my world. I hate when women are like, he's just like, he's my person. He's my best friend. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Have you never met another person? Like, what? So I think that's a lot, and like that's what her daughter, she met up with her daughter on camera and her daughter's like, I had a break from work. I had a 30-minute, break between like my two jobs and I came over and then Jared shows up and you're making out with him the whole time. And the way Brittany is speaking to her daughter is like, oh my God, that's horrible. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like she's saying the right things, but it's like, no, you did it. You did it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you did it. And she's like, I had to learn about my period from my dad, not from you. And she's like, oh, I hate that. Like, it's like,
yeah. So she was like a mom, very distracted by her own like love life, more so than concerned with her kids.
Yes.
And it probably has a lot to do with their respect.
She was such a great mom before this. Like she used to be like such a good mom. But like, I think that is also what happens if you don't have enough value built in yourself and who you are. And if you've been raised to believe, and I wasn't even raised to believe this, but I can see myself tending to like every once in a while have these catastrophic thoughts of like TikTok, I'm about to fully lose market value at any moment. And if you think that way, like you will grab onto whatever lifeboat you think might save you, even if it is Jared Osmond.
I saw this TikTok in passing that I like, you remember in 2020 when like most stuff on TikTok, it was either a dumb dance or kind of a think piece. Like I used to learn stuff on there.
I remember seeing you do this, like this dance on TikTok and just being like, she is so good. It was like, it was to a Taylor Swift song. It was so cute. And like the camera rolled away from you.
Oh, yeah. I did. I put my camera on my Roomba.
It was
was fun.
Cute. Kate, you got to bring that back. I remember seeing that and being like, wow, she's got it. She could be on Dancing with the Stars.
This is when I had energy to make content, to like maintain my own relevance. And I simply wouldn't even know how to start now. The countdown is on. Holiday shopping season is officially here. Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high-quality finds you won't see anywhere else. Not only because they focus on small businesses and artisans, which also, things get scooped up quickly, so quite literally, it's better to shop early with Uncommon Goods. They look for products that are high-quality, unique, and are truly one of a kind, and there's so many customizable options on Uncommon Goods, and it literally is something for everyone. Moms, dads, kids, teens, book lovers, history buffs, people who like ballparks and football fields, foodies, mixologists, avid gardeners, people who like a little whimsy in their life. As I told you, one of my favorite gifts from there is like a make your own little like whimsy book nook that looks like a magical secret world inside of a bookshelf. It's very cute. Every dude loves the pistachio pedestal. Elegant way to crack your nuts and store your shells, that to say it eloquently. One of my favorite things is this personalized reading valet. It's got a dedicated spot for your book, and it's arched in a way so you put your book down on it in the spot you were in. So it saves your spot. It features whatever book you're reading. It has also a spot for a coffee mug, for your glasses, for your cell phone. I think it's a really great gift for a book lover. And I don't know, if you have a husband that like plays golf, God bless, first of all. And second of all, there's a golf scoring thermos beverage holder thing where you can slide numbers around in fairways and strokes or something and like tally your score, which I think is kind of cool because it's very hard to keep track of tiny pencils. I do know that much about this life. I'm fond of something called a sassy storage container. I can't explain this. What's whimsy in ways I might normally think was wrong, but this feels right. Look it up. Also, you know how like there's those hot girl, not like other girl things people do in life, like drive a stick shift? To me, playing chess is one of these. Like just being like, yeah, like at a party, being able to play chess. Like, are you kidding me? Never in my life has somebody ever had the patience to teach me chess. And there's this tech-enabled beginner to expert chess set. It's a smart chessboard that connects like an app or a tablet or a computer or whatever, teaches you while you play. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of like a cool gift to provide your chronically online teenager with a more analog hobby. Learn to play chess like the olden days. I'm trying to fit too many words in a short period of time, but you can literally shop by person, by interest, like reading, gardening, sports, wellness, games, puzzles, foodie, pop culture, corporate gifts, you name it. Uncommon Goods has everything. It's a joy to advertise for them every holiday season. So don't wait. Cross those names off your list before the rush. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/BeThereIn5. That's uncommongoods.com/BeThereIn5 for 15% off. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. With Brittany, I think that like she, in chasing that sort of like romantic love and neglecting her kids in the process, it kind of seems like a reason the other women don't really respect her. Like, almost like she's just not a serious person.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. That came up very, very early, like in her tenure on the show, too. Like she brought it up and everyone was like, oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. And again, you're bringing something up, right? Like you understand that like, you know, a secret will come out. She could have, you know, concealed that. She could have chosen not to say it. And then she completely forgot that she said it because somebody else brought it up, I think, this season. And she was like, why would you bring that up? And like production cuts back to her being like, so my kids don't talk to me.
Like, right. Like, I know. And what sucks about like a gang up on an actual villain, again, I need to watch some eps, is like Brittany. I think Brittany was almost like when Brittany and Heather were talking after the plane incident, it was almost like she was loving having a reason to get people on her side because I don't know if anything else would have. But like, no, you look cruel if you don't. I mean, if she was literally shaking her seat and taunting her for 4 hours, that's wild.
It's
and
also
like,
wild.
I don't know. I'm confused
it's wild
by the plane.
No one has any footage of it. No one.
I know.
Come on.
But like, I also, there's, if not for that, I would think it was maybe embellished or something, if not for that Mary Cosby conversation. That was just seemed very, very real. But I just heard Lisa Barlow on a podcast this morning. She was kind of just saying that like Brittany wouldn't hand over the TikTok and they still can't find the TikTok. And the thing Meredith wanted to see was like, show me that video that they played on the boat. But like Brittany wouldn't show it and no one's like found it. So I don't know. But I think it had to be a producer plant because guess what?
Yeah.
Throwing that unicorn into the sea and then it gets they go fetch it from the sea. Like there was enough happening in that episode. We didn't need the unicorn to be rescued from the sea, but putting on those dumb costumes. Listen, I don't like costume play in general.
Play. It's just like I don't know. Maybe I just have like a boring adulthood, but I've never been like, guys, the dress code for dinner tonight is zombie. Like, make sure you pack. We're here for 2 days. Make sure you pack a zombie outfit.
Yacht. Like, can I wear some cute clothes? I'm here for 2 nights.
Yeah. No, sorry. Tonight you actually have to look dead. Okay. It's very important. That's how we have fun. I just think it's so boring to me. I don't know. I don't like that. I think that Brittany Bateman is a cautionary tale for Taylor Frankie Paul.
Okay. Whoa.
I really do.
Whoa.
Because you know what? I think when Brittany Bateman was young, you saw her. She was young. She was cute. She was like a little actress too. Like she's been in like, I believe like Lifetime movies or something like that. Like
I think she has a nice voice.
I think she does too. And she's just got a
shamelessness, a showman in her.
There is. And also like a little bit of like I can see, she probably had the same effect on like men and women that Taylor Frankie Paul does, right? Like Taylor Frankie Paul, I'm like, okay, so what? Okay. Oh, so you all hate her because she's hot. Okay. And she jumped right from a divorce and a dysfunctional relationship into another dysfunctional relationship. And then she had a kid with that guy. Now she's going to be on The Bachelor. Okay. So that's how she's going to build her, her brand or her career, is as this woman looking for something, like
a woman looking for the bare fucking minimum.
Yes.
Usually in The Bachelor, you're looking for like a Prince Charming. I don't think she needs either, as much as she needs a human man to not be a complete nightmare. And like the thing with Dakota, I mean, his eyes are so scary.
His eyes freak me out.
The last episode was the last episode when it came out about her mom's friend.
Yes.
Okay. Like so there was an episode where they got back together at Stagecoach, and I think the sad thing is she wants to be with that baby's father. Like I think she really wants like this family that she like tried to build, and it just was never really over. But something about whoever this person is, I gather like a second mom type, a best friend of the family, which like that truly, poor Taylor. Like Taylor does not make great choices, but she's also surrounded by garbage that I just. It's like suddenly her parents look good. But remember last season we were like horrified by the parents. But I keep feeling bad for her. I do too. I don't know. Dakota's just like, it's shocking she can't see through it. I do like how much Macy consistently hates Dakota. I at least appreciate that about her. But yeah, did you have any feelings about Taylor's revelation? It was just kind of sad too to watch her do press and do like cool stuff. She's like on Kimmel and crying about Dakota.
I know. And so embarrassing, truly. Like, I'm just so embarrassed and also for her children, for all 3 of her children too. Like, this is going to be a part of like the record of their lives, and in like a really, really public way. Like all that stuff is out there about their dad, about their dads, about their mom. Last year for her parents to be saying like, you're the problem. And then for this switch up this year, by episode 10, her dad is saying like, oh, he's a narcissist and da-da-da. Like you pushed her into staying in this relationship, giving more of herself to this relationship. And her mom, we talk a lot about, and by we, I mean, me in my head, people on TikTok, me conversing in my head with the TikToks I've seen. But there's so many examples right now in pop culture of men who hate their wives. Just hate their wives. Like marrying your biggest hater. The 2 biggest risk factors to a girl are marrying your biggest hater or being raised by your biggest hater. And Taylor Frankie Paul and Bronwyn Newport were raised by their biggest haters. Taylor Frankie Paul's mother wants to be her. She's going to MomTok events that her daughter isn't at because her daughter's at like a mental health retreat. Like, get out of here. What are you doing?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like,
that's so bleak. That's such an interesting way to put it. Raised by and married to. I know some of Bronwyn's mom Like, yikes.
Oh.
Awful. Do you believe her that her stuff's sealed and she did nothing wrong?
I mean, I believe it's sealed. But just because a record is sealed does not mean that you can't talk about it unless there is specifically, I believe, a gag order, which I don't think they do for things that have like settled. Like if there's been a settlement, I don't think that there's a gag order. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. But there's just something about it where I'm like, you don't want to talk about it, right? Like I think it would feel more honest to be like, I don't want to talk about it. It involves other people's lives too.
Right. I know it does seem like there's some audacity to go after somebody else's legal stuff if you have, like, low-key have legal stuff going on. Yeah. But when I tell you that I was watching both these shows in such rapid succession, like the way it was like, we're here to just fill our fillings. And I was like, what's the deal? But the case is settled. And like they're talking about this like situation being over and they're like, that's the nail in the coffin. I'm like, it's nail. It's not the nail in the coffin. It's nail.
You really get the weirdest way of pronouncing things.
I'm obsessed with the Utah accent. I'm obsessed with how they fill their fillings. And I feel like, the only other big plot, it was like Jesse and Marciano affair thing, Dakota's fourth betrayal, Whitney's kind of like villain redemption arc, Demi going scorched earth. Dad talk. Get out of here. Get off my screen.
Get out of here. You do not have what the husbands of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City have. You don't have it. They have it because they're older. They've got gravitas. They've done something, right? Like they've done something. I just think this is my most sexist take. Ooh. Men can't be influencers. That is your glass ceiling. You can't do it. I don't want to see it. Nick Viall, stop. Turn off your podcast. Stop it. Who's Chase? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. What are you doing?
I thought you thought Chase was hot last season. That was kind of your problematic
I have bad taste. I have bad taste. What do you want from me? Okay. Did I text you a picture of my ex-boyfriend?
No.
I texted it to Carolyn.
I don't think I saw it, or I skipped over it.
For people who think this sounds
Did he have a buzz cut?
No comment. I'm just gonna hold on. Okay. Hold on. Okay. No, I'm not being mean. Okay. I'm not being mean, Kate. All I want you to know is that when you know of two people that I've been with, okay? Yeah. No, there's no pattern. There's no pattern for me. Try to find a pattern. And when I say I believe a candle is being held for me.
Sorry, the one on the right?
Me. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's core.
You can't say that. Ever.
I can't? Then people know who it is?
People know. I don't know. I'm so afraid.
Wow. How long did you date?
Long enough. Who's to say? It's the
guy
thing
on the left
about
is cute.
Me. Huh?
Guy on the left is cute.
Oh, Dreamboat. Dated him too. Okay. Here's the thing.
Really nice bite.
No, I'm kidding.
Really nice chompers.
So
do I have to take that out?
Maybe. Okay. Here's what I'll say. Okay. When you see this, does it make sense what I felt about Chase?
100%.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. I rest my case. I am a woman who you make a scatter plot graph of the people I've dated, or let's not even say dated. No scientist could find a pattern. No data scientist could find a pattern if they tried. Okay. I just like what I like, and it's as shocking to me as anyone else.
Appreciate you sharing the artifact.
Your
history is so rich with anecdotes. I just love to peel the Nora McInerny onion.
Oh, well, as long as it all goes back to the Pope.
This episode is brought to you by Hungry Root. As a busy podcaster, parent, professional TV show watcher, and mid-recapper, it's been such a game changer to have my weekly food shopping, meal planning, etc. with Hungry Root. It shops for me and delivers groceries that fit any budget, health goals, dietary restrictions, preferences. It has this like smart cart that starts by taking a quiz, and the technology like recommends groceries tailored to your tastes and needs. And as it sends you boxes, it slowly will tailor it more and more. I like it because it has such variety and sends me things that I didn't even know I wanted. They have everything from like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, kids snacks, smoothies, ready to eat meals. I always explain it to people that Hungry Root is like the middle ground between a meal kit delivery service and a grocery delivery service, because you're given full-size groceries and recipes that are like 3-4 ingredient that you can use the groceries for, but you don't have to use the groceries for that. So you're not left with like a small ramekin of crushed cashews and like one plastic sleeve of barbecue sauce, not knowing what to do with it. But I really think that helps eliminate food waste to not only have the full products that you can use for more than one thing, but also in having recipes that encourage you to use the things they provide. It helps me get creative and actually use the groceries I have and not like just shop when I'm hungry and pick up random stuff. I also think it's just really great for if you have kids and everyone like eats something slightly differently. It'll give you so many different ideas for like really genuinely simple meals that work for different budgets and taste buds. And now with it being the busiest time of the year, there's even like less time and energy for grocery shopping, and Hungry Root will help you save money and save you a trip out in the cold to the grocery store by delivering everything you need right to your door each week. Whenever I get a box, I'm like relieved I have it. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I hate that feeling of like, we have no food in the house, and then like not really knowing where to start. Anyway, take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/BeThereIn5 and use code BeThereIn5. That's hungryroot.com/BeThereIn5, code BeThereIn5 to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life.
Also, something I was thinking about as a non-queen bee type. Queen bee types run shit in real life, in person. Like, yeah. A person like a Demi can control the narrative in real time. She can be kind of emotionally manipulative. They know how to make you look crazy. They know how to like reframe and rewrite it like in a way that just for a normal, like well-intentioned person is like a little overwhelming, and like you don't really win with those types of people. They just reign. But what's nice about reality TV is like with the audience able to kind of be a third party or production to provide like receipts. Like Demi couldn't gaslight her way out of half of this stuff. The way she does things across episodes, you like identify patterns, you see her body language, you see her like glance at the cameras to see if they're watching. It was interesting to me to kind of watch Demi, who was somebody that would like kind of intimidate me in person and probably is used to always winning and dominating friend groups, like fall by the wayside. And a person like Whitney, who maybe doesn't have this social finesse that like another person would, or isn't like as cool or I don't know, manipulative, like she's almost honest to a fault, like somebody who maybe isn't always the most socially graceful, coming out as the good guy was kind of refreshing to me, because the audience I think can cut through a lot of the bullshit,
Yeah. I have two questions for you. One, do you think Demi's power, like that sort of queen bee social power, comes from really well done lip injections?
So well done.
I mean, I thought she had maybe a little zhuzh. I didn't know she had a full mouth reconstruction, and it's
so perfect, because the key to good lip injections is your lips go up and not out.
Yes.
And hers like go up as if they were already there, like just filling surface area, and they don't.
And she had no upper lip before.
And as a thin-lipped gal who's forever eyeing lip injections, I just am like, wow, the way that changed her face she was already beautiful, but it's good work. And
I gave her like a little something else, but she also just gives me the energy of like a girl who was really, really athletic in high school and didn't need to wear makeup. And that was not me. So that kind of girl does scare me to my core.
Yeah, there are different types of cool girls. There's like really prissy, girly girls, and then there's like soccer team captain cool. Like the captain of the soccer team's always popular. Soccer is such a cool girl high school sport, or it was.
It is. She's got that. My second question, though, Kate, is like, what did Demi do? Because I don't understand. Granted, I could only get through like 3.5 episodes, but like, what was it other than telling people that Jesse did have sex with Marciano and did not just kiss him twice, and then telling people that Marciano assaulted her maybe, and then also like I think she was mean to Whitney last season when Whitney was crying.
Right.
But I don't know. There were just too many cuts of people saying like, I just don't trust her intentions. I don't know what this means for MomTok.
I know. And I wish I looked up what she did last season. It was something involved. Remember, she was in a burgundy lip and a burgundy dress with a side part, and she looked like amazing, and she was yelling at Taylor Frankie Paul's mother. But what about, I don't know. Should I look? Couldn't be bothered to look it up.
Yeah.
In this season, because she wanted 3 times more pay than the other girls, apparently.
Wait, who did?
Demi.
To be on Vanderpump Villa?
No, Secret Lives.
She was on it, though. What are you talking about?
She came in at like episode 5, and she was half on it. Yeah.
Oh, so she actually got less.
Yeah, like
well,
her and Whitney actually weren't
times
signed on until like episode 5, I think, because Whitney came back for Dancing with the Stars. I think Demi came to like defend her on her IDK.
Oh wow, okay.
But after season 1, Demi thought she was like a fan favorite, carrying the series kind of, and I think wanted more money. Also, I think we're both in agreement that like I don't know if you get yours if you want Oscars tickets and a role in a scripted series. Why not ask?
Yeah, ask for it, and also it's. I think these things are so tricky, and the difference between Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is that by the time you are established enough to be cast on Real Housewives franchise, you've built a career for yourself in some way, right? Even if it's just marrying someone very rich. You have something, right, that you can kind of rest on. But when you start this young, I mean, is her name Kayla? Who are these girls? Macy? Or who's the girl with Michaela? Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't she like in her who's the girl?
She's
Jenny
25.
is like 25. Okay, these girls are so young, right? And they've built their career solely online and now on reality TV.
Yep.
You've got to be careful because what is the lily pad? You think you're bigger. You might think you're bigger than you are.
Yeah.
Like you might think you're trying to jump onto, I don't know enough about aquatic plants. Okay. I shouldn't be.
You might think you're trying to
jumping onto a
I know
lily
nothing
pad
of them,
and
like
you gotta
moss,
find another one.
of marsh.
Yeah. You're trying to get to land. You're still a little far out. You're still in the marsh, baby. You are still in the marsh.
In the muck.
And then when you don't have that, I'm sure Demi found out, right? Like when you don't have that, when you can no longer say, are you a part of MomTok if you're not on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Like, I don't know. Are you going to have the same brand deal opportunities? Are you going to have the same like appearance opportunities? Probably not. So you lose one thing, you lose a lot of things.
Right. You do.
So.
Do you think MomTok is dead?
We don't.
Was it ever
living? Was it ever living? Was it ever? I mean, I don't know. When they're all in a video, I say, I guess they're there. I guess they're all there. I wouldn't know. When they're all in the same room, I need to look at the chyron every single time one of them is on screen. When they are on screen without a chyron, I have no idea who is who.
I know.
Aside from Whitney and Taylor Frankie Paul, that's it.
I think that Demi and Jesse, I have the same issue that I had early seasons with Lisa and Meredith.
Oh, who are you?
Hot, strong-willed brunettes with very similar hair.
Wild
Rose Beauty.
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just
Wild Rose Beauty. Whitney on both shows. Whitney is always very distinct. I can always tell who is a Whitney. I'm the wild one. I've lost my wildness. And something that you don't know about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is Whitney. She is bringing back the pole. She's going to bring the pole back.
And it's like symbolic for her.
For her freedom. Like, okay.
What I will say, though, is watching like people like Meredith and Lisa say nothing ever and deny and deflect versus Bronwyn and Whitney having like a very honest conversation about what they want for their non-traditional marriages. Like this is what that must be frustrating to be some cast members like bleeding out and some just unwilling to do anything semi-vulnerable in the event it harms their image. Meanwhile, they just look kind of guilty. And I just don't know where I stand. What I do know is that it was an important crossing over of the universe in one episode you didn't see when Taylor Frankie Paul bumps into Scott Disick at a Hulu party. And Scott Disick is aware that there is one of him on her show. And because Dakota is a creepy blue-eyed old asshole boyfriend that won't go away, keep having kids type of guy or whatever. He's kind of, anyways. So Taylor Frankie Paul's like, we have a Scott Disick on our show. His name's Dakota. And Scott goes, so an asshole. And she was like, yeah. And Scott's like, well, I graduated from being an asshole at 38. And now in my head, I'm like, that is pretty late, Scott. I thought maybe it was when you were 28 or that 30.
Yeah, no. He's like, I just stopped and I feel great. Okay. I'm 6 months clean from being a total piece of shit and I feel great. So best of luck to him.
There really were our parallels there with the eyes and the consistent anger inducing bad behavior. But what I don't want is for Dakota to have a redemption arc. I pray. No. And also, on what planet was this season setting her up as the perfect bachelorette? I was like, this is a mess.
A total mess. And also, like, everything is branded entertainment. Let us just remind you, especially in the ABC, Disney, Hulu universe, this all just brand deals, right? Come back to Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and one of you, now two of you get to go on Dancing with the Stars. One of you will get to be the Bachelorette, and the rest of you can fight it out for maybe like a couple extra appearance fees.
Yeah, I know. It's a machine, and it's like sometimes I can get into it. Sometimes it bores me to tears. It depends on the day.
I don't want the thing about Secret Lives of Mormon was I don't want any men in the show.
No, not a one.
It's side characters. Like, I thought it was like kind of touching when Jordan and Dakota were connecting, but then you realize like actually like they're both just jerks.
Right. He's awful, by the way, Jordan.
He's awful.
What did she say? She was like, this is why I wrote it down. There was like one line that killed me about that exchange. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
And he just kept being like, I'm so emasculated. I was like, ew, there's something about that word where I'm like, ew.
That word
like,
is
just the mere, if you think about being emasculated, you were never emasculated. That's what I have to say to you. If you believe that you've been emasculated, you were never. You never had it, baby. Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Connor's out here painting himself green.
Connor
celebrating
is out here being the husband of all husbands.
I'm so confused because he was the Pitt season 1. Like he was awful. He went to the Mary Cosby school of season 1 to 4 acceleration in terms of turning out to be a decent human, where reality TV somehow did something for you, made you maybe look in a mirror.
He went to some kind of training camp. It might have been run by Mary Cosby. He might have gone.
No, literally.
He might have gone to...
It seems like a brain, like an emotional availability and emotional intelligence overhaul that you really don't see anymore. And he doesn't seem performative. Maybe he's a good performer, but he does seem like the best husband now.
Yeah, he seems like he likes her. And I think also, what I keep thinking about too, you were saying like, to go on these shows, right? Like the Real Housewives, these sort of like older women believe that you can go on a show like this and like keep your secrets and protect your brand. But I don't think that there's anything that can prepare you for for this amount of eyeballs on your life. So even remembering Whitney and Connor season 1, like they were already experiencing a true like a crisis moment, because like a crisis does not have to be like something horrible that happened, but it is like a pivotal moment in your life where everything changes, and that's fame. That's TikTok fame.
True.
That's people figuring out like, oh, actually like he was on this dating app and oh, maybe this thing happened. And there's nothing in the world that can prepare you for that. And we've felt much smaller scale versions of that kind of just like rawness, that exposure, that just sort of like uneasiness of like, oh boy, I'm not ready for this. Like nothing can prepare you for that many people giving you feedback on who you are or who you appear to be, and what may or may not have happened at that scale. And so it looked like when we're watching it on the show, we're like, this is your first season of a show. Well, they're already in like season 3 of internet fame. And
interesting. Yeah.
And they were like just as unprepared for it. There's no casting process for TikTok. There's no production process for TikTok other than like just you. And actually the producers of like the reality show that is social media are your audience, are the people who are like, oh, actually, I was sitting behind Bronwyn's husband on a plane and he was scrolling through pictures of women in lingerie.
I hate that this is even like, ugh. Like that's so. I'm no Todd defender, but like, geez, that every move you make, public and private, being internet fodder and like Reddit tea, that's a stressful existence.
It is. I would never want that. And like, like Taylor Frankie Paul, Bronwyn Newport, both married to haters, both raised by haters. Okay, Todd Newport does not like Bronwyn Newport. Like,
he ate the cherry off her Sunday.
He ate the cherry. I was like, that's a bad man. That's a bad man. He didn't laugh. The way that he looks at her, the way that he speaks to her, like, trust me, I know contempt when I see it. And it's like, to me, my opinion is that Bronwyn Newport went on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City looking for her exit ramp and knowing I've got a personality, baby. I've got a personality. I've got a look, and I am going to use this to like parachute my way out of this this relationship that I am kind of trapped in. So
I think parachute is better than lily pad. I feel like we might know more about aviation tools.
We can at least imagine. I don't ever
marsh
want to
flora.
I don't want everyone to be, and I don't like being wet.
Yeah, no. Flying is a better thing to think about, because you're right. And there are bigger and better things there's bigger and better things for Whitney. Hopefully for TFP. Like, ultimately, I'm rooting for like most of these people, I think. Yeah. And yeah, it was interesting to watch both shows and to compare and contrast. And I just will never not be grateful for the rich terroir of drama that Salt Lake City gives us. I was going to say who saw it coming, but we did see it coming. We very much saw it coming.
We saw it coming. And I just think, like, if you watch these shows, if you watch one episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, switch over to an episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for a palate cleanser like Kate Kennedy did, you will see that if these girls on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives do not learn to reorient their lives around each other, like around themselves, their children, their own interests, their own careers, like, they are looking at a future. Like, they are looking at their own future. Like, Heather Gay did not have, her own sense of self until long after her divorce. And it took a long time. I think she's still figuring it out. Like, she's still carrying all of these things and all of these hurts. And do you think that there is enough there to have a season 4 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Because I truly do not.
I think they're filming now. Don't. I think a lot of it's going to be, I think it's Dancing with the Stars is going to be like a huge part of the plot in The Bachelorette. And I don't know how a season works when you focus on people's ancillary stardom doing other things. I wouldn't have watched a Vanderpump Rules that followed Ariana Madix to playing Roxy Hart in Chicago. I don't know. I just didn't, at a point, it's losing the heartbeat of the show. But for a show that never had one, I don't really know. Where you go from here, because the problem always becomes you're not actually friends. And the thing is, Macy and Michaela are very true friends, but they aren't interesting enough to carry the show. And for the first 4 episodes, they were really hinging on them doing like a Thelma and Louise thing with Marciano and the lie detector, and they were being kind of bullies. And I was like, this isn't working for me. But when they were both less contrived and they were like being themselves in the back half and going to therapy and being vulnerable, and Macy's like, I'm an LGBTQ ally. Macy's husband's great, by the way.
I thought Macy's husband was so great. I texted you that. I was like, like, he's just so, like, it really felt genuine too, the way that he's talking about, her healing journey. I really did not know how he was gonna do that, and it was really beautiful.
And can I end on like one annoying thing that like
Please.
Judgy mom thing to say?
Yeah.
I just want to implore people to never put a baby in one of those bumbo chair things on an elevated surface.
Oh yeah.
I know
Who
of
did
like
that?
Taylor Frankie Paul in 3 scenes. It's just I know of 3 different children who have gone like to an ER because of a bumbo.
I didn't even know they still sold bumbos.
I didn't know.
thought bumbos were outlawed.
They look misleadingly stable.
Really, any baby on an elevated surface. I did it all the time. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I was like, you're at my eye level. Not good. Baby should never look you in the eye. Okay?
No.
They're not your peer.
Speaking of this morning, Teddy, like, I asked him if he wanted he was eating Cheerios. I was having some too with milk. And I was like, do you want some with milk? And he was like, no. And I was like, suit yourself. And I was like, hey, do I talk like that to my kid? And it's just like came out of me. And I'm like, what? Anyways, so now he's obsessed with saying suit yourself. And it's such like a thing. Yeah. It's kind of from the scram school of like why I yada like type of talk from TV and movies. I'm like, nobody's like suit yourself. And I just feel like I'm like, that's such a sarcastic, annoying, specific phrase. And yeah,
it's not sarcastic. I think it's very like, it's like, okay, that's
suit yourself.
Sounds good. Sounds good, buddy. I think that's great. I think you should talk to him like you talk to people. Like, yeah, okay, suit yourself. That's fine. No judgment. You don't have to have it with milk. Like, not everyone wants soggy Cheerios. That's fine. Q went through a period, same school, where he'd go, why you biota? And we'd be like, okay, like
I want that on a button for my denim jacket.
You biota?
Has more oomph to it.
With his tiny little fist, or
so
his little
sweet.
Mean finger when he's mad. He just points. He still does that.
That's housewifey-in.
He belongs.
Don't point your finger at me.
He loves pointing a finger. He will point the finger at anybody.
I think that also, yeah, I have a lot to say about the hair extensions. I sent you a video in the middle of the night on TikTok about a girl who went to hair by Chrissy. It cost $4,200.
I'm on that one. And she touched her hair once. She did one curl. And
her fee was $2,500. The Chrissy fee.
And I believe it. And it's just like, what are we talking? Like, why do you need all of these things? And I'm a person who did have hair extensions after I had a kid and I felt like all my hair fell out. I had hair extensions and I look back, I was like, oh, yikes. And but like at the time I was like, damn, I look good. Like, not really.
I think about getting them all the time because I'm in my like freaked out hair, much thinner phase. But I also just the fact that my husband was so distracted by how much like wavy hair was on everyone. I was like, yeah, I guess it does kind of look crazy to have like that much hair, like on every single person. It just isn't believable anymore. It's like, I don't know. No. But hair by Chrissy culture is wild. And like the audacity to touch somebody's hair for 60 seconds and charge a Chrissy fee for $2,500. I don't know if I'm horrified or if I'm jealous because that's the type of...
why not both?
Yeah, that's true. Why not both?
Why can't we have it all? Okay? Why can't
we have it all?
Why can't we? But I think that, you know what? Why we can't have it all is because then we would not be able to have shows like this, which are just essentially about yearning. They're just essentially about like
literally
women searching for what? Connection, empowerment, fulfillment, hair extensions.
The one thing we're all missing.
Empowerment.
Until we become our afters.
Yes. Please, I'm just trying to find my empowerment. And we were so empowered. With all these appearances and we're not empowered. What are we going to do? Kate, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you for respectfully allowing me to talk about the Pope.
Of course. Okay. I really felt truly the villain in my own story. People were like, let the woman speak. And I was like, oh, I did. Yeah. You
protecting nobody the audience, was more surprised the audience than saying, no, you don't speak for us.
I know. I between the Pope shaming and your face having like divots in it was a hard day for Nora, and I just should have been easier on you.
My crusty face, it's damaged, I think, forever. I don't know what to do. I gotta go see a dermatologist.
It's not. It looks amazing.
It does. I'm gonna show you some pics.
Okay,
I'm gonna
send me some close-ups.
We'll send them. They'll be on the Patreon. You'll see. I'm going to tell you right now. Do not do microneedling via Groupon. Okay. The deal is not that good.
Sorry.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay. You heard it here. Probably last.
Yeah. You heard here something you already knew intuitively in your heart, because none of you have the Groupon app, and none of you would go on Groupon and say spa treatments, face, semi-invasive procedure that belongs in a sterile medical environment. Yeah, I'll buy 2.
I get it. We're all vulnerable. We're all doing our best.
Yeah. We're all looking for a deal.
We are all looking for a deal.
Adele.
All looking for a dill.
I'm going to hail Phil and get a dill.
Hail Phil and get a dill. All right, Nora, you're the best. Talk to you later.